We've got all the brick resources that we have, and I sorted them to size and type. So we've got this size right here. They're all kind of different. They've been broken in different ways. They're sort of ugly. This is all recycled brick. But there's this size, and then this is its own unique size. These are sort of a random assortment of bits and pieces. Like this guy is interesting. It's the same size this way. It's the same length and the same width, but the depth is something completely different on this one. So it's its own guy. And then we've got random bits and bobs. These guys here are arch bricks. You see they're wedge shaped, smaller on this side than that side.
Yeah.
So if you put enough of these together, they'll form a neat arch. And then we've got random old, these are lightweight insulating bricks, which are much lighter than those over there. They can't handle a lot of abuse, but they're insulated. See, like I can actually flake pieces off of it with my thumbnail, where like these guys here, not so much. I'll flake pieces of my thumbnail off on this. And then there's these brand new lightweight guys right out of the box. We've got a lot of boxes of this. I just brought one box in to play with. Right, okay, so now what I'm going to do, now that I have all the brick types and stuff sorted, I'm going to show how I lay the bricks out. Right, so here's the center line on my barrel. I found the center line of where the barrel's going to be. Just measure from my marks, find the center line. That's important. I'm going to keep that up. I'm going to keep paying attention to that. And of course this edge here and the general area of where our firebox is. This is going to move around a little bit, but that's okay. So I'm going to start back here where it matters, right? An 8-inch rocket stove wants a kind of basically a 7 by 7 inch square channel all the way through. So I'm going 3.5 inches back from the center line, roughly. And then this face where I'm going to put this brick is 3.5 inches from the center line this way. Alright, so that's where we start. And then I'll just keep putting them in the end. I want to make sure this end is about 3.5 inches over. Alright, and then I just make a straight line with the rest. We're going to redo this again when I lay it down permanently. I'll make perfect at that time.
Okay.
So check it out. This brick ends at that one, and we go around and we end this brick at that one. It's sort of a swirling pattern, you know?
Nice.
So that when the next course goes on, it'll lap this way and come back around, so that every single course has its edges lapped over. And that's going to be 7 inches there, about roughly. I'll make it 7 inches later. And we'll just follow the pattern around in a circle, a rectangle, until it touches again. Okay? Now, assuming all these bricks are the same size, which I checked that, they are, you're going to have this nice rectangle. There's the center of the barrel. And see, I drew my firebox, I think, that way a little bit of reality. The firebox is going to be a little bit longer. It's going to be out here, like this. Right? So, if I keep this layout going, if I have 7 inches here, how many bricks is that going to be? 3, 4 bricks, and there's my 7 inches.
Very good.
So that's the basic layout. Now, what I didn't do is I didn't get this up to height yet.
Okay.
Right? I'll take these off. But I know that this is going to be the right size this way.
Okay.
And I know that I don't have enough of this one size brick to do all the layers that we're going to need.
Okay.
Right? So I'm going to use this stack, which is all the same size. You know, roughly, I should say. I should say they're roughly all the same size, because even brand new bricks, fresh out of the box, there's a little variation.
Okay.
Right? And that's what mortar's for. It's to hold those variations apart so that they'll all sit flat.
Sure.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is, in order to get 7 inches this way, I need to set one brick flat and one brick on edge, right? Which ends up being just a tiny bit less than 7 inches, apparently, here. Not, well, pretty darn close. Pretty close. Close enough for our purposes. So I'm going to have a course of these flat, and then a course of these on edge on top of that, and that'll give us our 7 inches this way, and then we'll get our 7 inches that way, and because of these bricks going, we'll get our 7 inches to the feed and to the heat riser.
Very good.
All right, is that clear?
Yes,
Great.
quite clear.
All right, I'm going to lay out some base stuff, and then we'll come back. So what I've done now is I've relayed out the bricks one more time. I think it's actually a good idea to lay them out a bunch of times. You lay them out, you take them down, you lay them out, you take them down. The more times you do it, like every time you do it, you get a little bit better. Every time you do it, you eliminate bad bricks or bricks that should be better in one place versus another. So what I've got now is I've laid out the base. So I know that I've got enough of these oddball base bricks. These things are odd too, let me show you. They're from a kiln, they've got this angle on them. So when you put them together just a certain way, they form a flat bottom. So I laid those out to be our bottom. And then I've got these side bricks, these guys laid on their side. That was the stack here, that was its own size. And then I've got these guys, which was just this stack here, which was another size. So we got that right. And then I've got my tunnel width on, and I decided to use just the random bits over here to be this tunnel part. And when I put most of them together, what it did was it made, this was too short. So this oddball extra thick brick that we were talking about before.
Oh yeah, the one I pointed out. Yeah.
Right? This one turns out to be perfect. When I add this into the stack,
All right.
it's exactly the right length. And I like this brick a lot. So I'm going to clean it up at some point, maybe this bottom piece. And I'm going to make a tripwire out of that.
Nice.
And we'll be able to show how to make that. Now, this whole thing has got to be up off of the slab that we're on. It's on a concrete slab.
You're saying that it has to be rebuilt.
Yeah.
And it has to be lifted up off the slab. Let
Yeah.
me get on the other side of you. So why? Why do you?
Well, because this is going to get so hot, the bricks here can handle the heat. They're fire bricks, so they can
Correct.
take the heat. But I think it's like 800 degrees Fahrenheit is enough to spall and pop this concrete. Cement.
Oh yeah.
So if you let the stove sit on top of the cement, it's going to blow the cement up.
Okay.
And it'll do some odd things. It'll explode underneath, it'll shove our bricks up, bounce the whole system over, and it'll screw the system up.
Yeah, we don't want it blowing up while I'm sleeping.
Right, exactly.
I'm funny that way.
Take some bricks, and we're going to make 3 rows of bricks and then insulate, and then put these on top of those rows. Alright, so I'm going to take this down again, but this time I'm going to stack my bricks that I'm using aside to their own space.
Very good.
Right.
So you're going to move the stuff that's left out of the way?
Yep, I'm going to move the stuff that's left out of the way, and then I'm going to move these things over, and I'm going to, at some point, I'll replace them as needed. So we've laid it out again. This time, we actually changed the plan. Chris had this stuff here, which is like this super high temperature kiln board of some variety.
Yeah, it's some kind of fiberboard.
Yeah, some
Came
kind
with
of
a kiln
super high
kit.
temperature kiln fiberboard. So we laid that down as a protective layer against the cement here, so that we don't have to worry about popping the concrete. So that was easy. All I had to do was lay the board down and then do the layout again. So lay out one more time. Got the cement board down. I was really careful with my center line for the barrel. I transferred that first to the fiberboard piece.
Let me get in there and
Yeah,
check
you can
that.
see straight down the heat riser section right here where the pencil line is. Right there.
Ah.
Transferred it to the fiberboard piece very carefully, and then I transferred it again to my brick.
So a little cross there is the center.
Yep,
I like it. I like it.
And then, so then when I did the layout, it all ends up back in the same spot again. Every time I do the layout, I'm just a little bit more careful. I take my time over it. I go a little bit more slowly every time. I eliminate bricks that are a little thick or a little thin if I can when they're laying next to each other. You know, we're dealing with recycled stuff. And here's something to think about with the feed, right? All right, this one is busted piece, so I'm going to eliminate this piece later. I'll replace it with a cut piece. But it's my stand-in. So you look at the edge between these two bricks, right? If I was to put this on this way, oops, I put this on this way, it bridges that crack, all right, and it's going to create strength. Now later when there's a little bit of mortar in here, that'll hold that together. And then this other piece will go on like so. Now, I don't know, I think that's a little less attractive than if we were to do it this way with a piece across here. See, that looks a little more attractive.
Okay.
We're going to see the upper edge of these bricks.
Sure.
So I might go for attractive and not worry about this so much because we're
Okay.
going to do this cob surround thing here to
Sure.
kind of hold it all together.
I get you there.
But I just kind of wanted to show the difference, right? Where you can see that's more attractive. It's kind of balanced looking
Okay.
to the eye, even though that in the end will have more strength.
Sure.
It
But
looks
we'll
like
have the
it.
strength of the cob, so we don't have to sweat it so bad.
Right, exactly. But this looks a little goof. It looks a little out of balance.
Right.
So this is the way we'll do it. I'll cut a nice piece here. Because the upper edges of these bricks are visible, and this face will be visible just from looking at it. So I'm gonna save aside the 3 best bricks in all my junk
Okay.
for these last bits, just so that what you're looking at is clean and nice.
Good.
The heat riser is back here, and we're going to use this insulated brick for the heat riser. We'll stack up the swirling pattern like this. This first brick will get cut to fit in there.
Okay.
But then from then on, it's going to stack. We're going to just keep that swirling pattern going.
That'll be a nice heat riser too.
Yeah, it's going to be a really nice looking riser.
Yeah.
Big, fresh, brand new, clean bricks right out of the box.
Absolutely.
Now, we could have built from here, everything from here back out of this stuff.
Okay.
And it's not a bad idea to do that. The only thing that kept me from doing it is that it's a different size.
Right.
So in order to do that, I would have had to take the highest one, which would be these, and cut every single brick to be the right height, so it would all work out.
No, I got you.
Right? So I decided not to do that. I actually debated doing that and decided not to do it. Because, no, I just don't want to. And that's that. I'm going to leave this layout for myself tomorrow, so when I get in here and I look, I know what I was thinking.
Good deal.
And away we go.